Back in, friends, to another reverse 1999 video. Today we're going to go over Tooth Fairy and the upcoming 1.2 and Changeling as well. Just kind of go over my thoughts on if you should pull for her, depending on what characters you have already in the bank, and what value she brings to your team, how well she's still doing in the CN server, and what teams she utilizes on over there, and if it's an investment overall to grab her or if it's just something that you can pass. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into it. So Tooth Fairy, a 6-star star element healer, debuff, and purifier. Currently right now, the teams that she is doing well on is going to be your chemical warfare, which is the Changeling, and any of the supports you can use like Bjorn Bloom, Kanjira, and Anan Lee. Specifically on this one, I would say the best path to go if you are going to be using Tooth Fairy on this team, if you are going to be going for Changeling, is going to be Bjorn Bloom, because it allows for the most defensive shred and the most crit rate increase that Changeling already has a pretty innate high crit rate value for herself. So she really soars having Tooth Fairy and Bjorn Bloom synergizing well together to allow you to just do more damage output, a higher output of damage. If you're looking to do more of like a sustain and have a role to where, you know, Changeling is going to be your main damage dealer, but you are going to skip Tooth Fairy, no problem. If you have Sotheby already, I would say you have a good team comp if you have either of these guys right now. She'll be coming out in 1.4, so we still have a ways to go with her. And the only reason you would use her is if you don't have Sotheby. The reason that she's good, she just allows for extra stacks of poisons to pop on there quicker with this team. But in replace of her, I would say overall, Bjorn Bloom is the best bet. Better than Anan Lee and better than Kanjira, because she allows for her ult is very good sustain and crowd control. And her support techniques allows her to debuff the enemy, where Changeling is just doing the highest output of damage she can do, along with Tooth Fairy's crit increase, which I believe is 30%. Let's go check real quick. Yeah, enjoys a 30% crit increase for that, which is pretty huge. If you have her Changeling's resonate up, then also you'll probably get a good 15 to 20% of crit rate. So I mean, you're basically, with her innate stats plus that and her abilities, you're a little bit over 60%, I believe. You'll be right over around 60% of that. Let's see if they have the stats out for her already. Stats. No, not yet. So yeah, you'll be right over 60% with her crit rate, which is pretty insane with the ticks of poison and her ult and everything like that. And yes, the poison does tick off of crit. So Tooth Fairy, in my opinion, if you don't have Sotheby, she is a great pickup. She'll be a great pickup if you don't have Sotheby already. If you are looking to pull for Shamaine, she synergizes well also with Melania and Centurion. In the future, you will be able to get 37. Also a very good class to have, or a good character to have with 37 as well. So she fits into 3 different teams smoothly. But if you're going for Changeling, the difference in time we have to wait right now, I believe, is you'll get 20 days in between Tooth Fairy to Changeling. Let's just check real quick. I believe it's about a 20-day difference. So yeah, we got 9 days and 13 hours for Changeling. For Tooth Fairy, I'm sorry. On this banner, we'll have Bjorn Bloom and Blondie. So if you haven't already got her maxed out to 5, then this is your chance to get some more of her. And then we have 30 days for Changeling. unless they change this or anything switches over, we still have a good time until Changeling comes out. So in that time, we have the event, which will be patch 1.2. We'll have the event, which man, seeing the events that we've already had, they're very generous when it comes to drops and materials and stuff like that. So definitely start planning your account. If you haven't pulled already Sotheby, I would say 100% go for her. Or if you haven't pulled Medicine Pocket and you don't really care about doing this poison team, then go for her. If you're trying to save for the characters coming out in 1.3, like Black Dwarf, who else did we have? Black Dwarf and Shamaine, you can skip her. And that's fine. I mean, you're not going to be missing out because Balloon Party is still a very good, viable option for healing, even at the place where they're at in CN. Even where we're at in that patch, she's still viable for healing. She's still a great healer. And she still holds up well with most of the content that's out. I mean, honestly, there's nothing that I can think of that if you have her maxed out, then you can't complete it. But in my opinion, definitely think about what team you're wanting to go with. If you're wanting to go with the poison and you already have Sotheby, stick with that. Maybe pull a couple to get a couple Bjorn Blooms if you haven't got her to at least the 3rd Resonant already. If you have, then just save everything that you have and move on to the next banner. If you guys have any questions about Tooth Fairy or Changeling or anything like that, let me know down in the comments below. I'll be more than happy to make like a dedicated guide for just that character individual once they come out. I will be saving for both of them. We'll be pulling for both of them. I'm going to try to get every character as they come out on my main account, so that way I can give you guys the best guides, best reviews on what I think about these characters. I'll also have my free-to-play account on track with what I think is the most viable things to go for account investment. So thank y'all so much for watching. Please hit that subscribe button. I'll be back for some more. Catch you on the flip side.